Good morning, everyone. I am Gail Adele D. with the Universal Peace Federation and the International Association of First Ladies for Peace from Heavenly Barbados. It is wonderful to see you all this morning as we greet this new day together in session 453. Welcome, especially those joining us for the first time. We're so happy to have you today. Okay, and Eliezer, okay, so today on the 5th day in the 8th month by the heavenly calendar and the 10th year of Chan Il-guk, August 31st, 2022, on this daily morning reading Hundoke session 453, we offer our devotion for the victory of 2027, united as a hopeful, holy community. Now let us greet our beloved true parents all together. Okay, Chanji In, Chambu Manem K, Kyangbe, Baro, all right, now we will recite Family Pledge. Number 5. Oh, yes, number 5. Our family, the owner of Chan Il-guk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. All right. And now we will be having a representative prayer from our dear sister, Maria Luisa Sol. Maria Luisa, thank you very much for representing us this morning in prayer. Go ahead.
Muy buenos días a todos, líderes, hermanos y hermanas de América Latina, perdón, América Central y el Caribe. Mi nombre es María Luisa Sol. Quiero que nos acompañen, por favor, en esta oración de Hondoke. Amadísimo Padre y Madre celestiales, amadísimos, amados Padres verdaderos, Gracias eternamente por permitirnos esta nueva mañana mirar este nuevo amanecer y sobre todo, Padre, poder unirnos a nuestros hermanos y hermanas como una sola familia en este fondo que, por favor, Padre, sea usted el primer invitado de esta mañana en nuestras vidas, para que de esta manera podamos impulsarnos y motivarnos a ser mejores personas, para ser útil a usted y útil a nuestra querida Madre verdadera, a nuestros padres verdaderos que están esperanzando en este tiempo tan especial de la historia. Padre, pido de corazón su luz, su guía, para que en este día y todos los demás días pueda realmente ser una verdadera ofrenda, con un corazón sincero ante su verdad, ante sus principios, y poder ser leales en este tiempo tan especial de la historia en la cual vivimos, en la época de nuestra Madre verdadera, de la hija unigénita. Enséñanos a tener un corazón generoso y bondadoso, Padre, para realmente tener resultados firmes ante su verdad, y que podamos ofrendar lo mejor de nosotros cada día para darle alegría y esperanza a su corazón. Pido perdón cuando aún no he hecho lo suficiente para darle esa respuesta como hija, como hermana, como esposa, como madre, como persona que quiere entregar algo de nosotros para usted. Que el día de hoy podamos hacer de reflexión para hacer las cosas mejor. Bendice este día a cada uno de los presentes y queremos ofrendar esta mañana de corazón, reportando en mi nombre la familia Olivares Sol, una familia bendecida. Ayú.
Achoo. Thank you, Maria Luisa from Nicaragua. We are so happy to have our brothers and sisters from all over Central America and the Caribbean joining us every morning. This is now the 453rd morning devotion. And now we will have a reading from a wonderful brother, our Remy Topier from St. Lucia. We're so happy to introduce you to read our words this morning. Thank you, Brother Remy.
Thank you for your introduction. Good morning, brothers and sisters from Central America and the Caribbean region. It's a pleasure to be here together, and also so happy to see Dr. Higgins. Welcome to our morning devotions like that. We appreciate. So I'm going to continue reading what we had started yesterday. This speech title is Harmony Among the Science and the Search for Absolute Values. This was a speech given on November 27, 1976 in Washington, D.C., America. And the title, and this was the 5th International Conference on the Unity of the Science. So please join me as I'm reading. The universe provides protection against disease. The formation of this vast universe is the common purpose shared by all subject-object pairs. Thus, the universe protects itself and at the same time protects and promotes those beings that have attained unity between subject partner and object partner. Furthermore, it causes repulsion in those beings that lack harmony and repels those that try to invade the beings that have attained unity. This is how perpetuity becomes possible. One may call the protective force the correspondence force, and the other the repelling force, or action of and counteraction, respectively. This is true in both the non-human and human worlds. When our mind and body are united in oneness, we receive the protective power of the universe and consequently experience happiness. However, when our mind and body are not united, the repulsion leads to suffering. The suffering experienced in illness is produced in a similar manner. When the subject and object components of our body fail to attain unity and harmony, they lose the protective force of the universe, and the repelling force causes suffering. The medicine administered after a doctor's diagnosis is the way to restore the harmonious relationship between the subject and object components. The same principle governs the individual and the family. For instance, before marriage, a man and a woman enjoy being with friends of their own gender. After marriage, as subject and object partners, they eventually attain perfect unity and form a family, and thus receive the protective or helping power of the universe and become happy. At this point, as soon as a third party, another man or a woman comes, potentially interfering with their marital relationship, some repelling force starts to act, lest the perfection of the relationship be hindered. The repelling power is not necessarily harmful to the third parties because it serves to indicate that they too can act constructively to find subject and object partners, attain unity with their partners, and thereby receive the protective power of the universe and become happy. In other words, the repelling power also serves as a stimulant for the third parties to attain perfection. All existing beings resemble the first cause and multiply. For an electric current to flow and complete its circuit, a harmonious interaction between positively charged and negatively charged entities is needed, corresponding to pairs of subject plus and object minus partners. However, if two entities have the same type of electrical charge, namely a plus and another plus, or a minus and another minus, they will repel each other. When all beings find their counterpart and form a proper relationship, they experience stability and happiness under the same law. When a pair of subject and object partners become one as a result of give and receive action, according to the theory mentioned above, they come under the protection of the universe. Since all the actions we observe in this universe are resultant actions derived from the first causal being, we can state that there exists a central being that is both causal and active, just as children take after their parents, results take after the cause. Let's look now into the seed of a plant. We find that there are two complementary parts in perfect unity within one coat. They interact with each other by their give and receive action. And by doing this alone, can they produce another living organism. The development of a chicken egg is based on the same principle. Each egg has a yolk and a white, with the embryo between deriving nutrition from them. And they are all united in one shell. The human fetus develops in a similar manner. When the subject and object partners of any species of living things, whether human, plant, or animal, become one through give and receive action, they multiply beings that takes after the form of their cause eventually achieve that original form. If we acknowledge that all these beings take after the ultimate first cause, we come to the conclusion that the first causal being is the basic model for all of them, having the perfectly united subject-object pair within itself. When the first causal being takes the subject-partner position to all other beings. The purpose for creating all beings of creation on different levels. The objective of the progressive creation of all things in the universe is the human being. A human is the fruit, microcosm, and model of the existing world. A human is the highest being and contains elements from the mineral, the plant, and animal kingdoms. Yet, since humans are also resultant beings, one must conclude that they were made to take after the image of the first causal being. In other words, there has to be an absolute subject being that takes the human being as an object partner. Since humans are beings of personality with intellect, emotion, and will, that absolute subject partner also must be a being of personality in order to relate with them. That absolute being is called existence in philosophy and God in religion. Today, the world is filled with confusion and contradiction in regard to evolution, dialectical materialism, epistemologies, idealism, materialism, and so on. Our immediate historical task is to re-examine all of these and to find and establish absolute truth. Only then will we be able to form a world of absolute values. The being of absolute value is eternal, unchanging, and unique. Then what principle in the universe is eternal, unchanging, and absolute? It is the cause and effect relationship, which involves the relationship between the subject partner and object partner. When you apply these principles to human society, the heart of the matter is the parent-child relationship and the husband-wife relationship. The former may be termed a vertical relationship, and the latter a horizontal one. The unity of the subject and object partners on the vertical planes plays the unity of the subject and object partner on the vertical planes plays the role of a greater subject partner to the object partner that consists of the unity of the subject and object partners on the horizontal plane. They conduct perfect give and receive action to create harmonious spherical movement. This action is centered on love, forming the model of an ideal family, which is the basic unit of human society. In this sense, one can recognize love as the most valuable thing. The world of eternal happiness and under absolute values. Since the ultimate source of love comes from an absolute, unchanging, and causal subject being, and not from human beings, the family of love that maintains the causal being at its center is the basic unit for realizing the ideal in human society. To realize an ideal of absolute value, we need to begin with the family of love and expand in scope to the nation and the world, thereby reaching the ideal world of unity where eternal happiness rooted in absolute value is promised. I sincerely hope that this conference will contribute to providing solutions for the various problems present in human society and to strengthening the path for the future. I urge all of you to bring the results of your research freely and fully to these meetings and discussions so that the general welfare of humankind might be better served. May your efforts become a decisive contributing factor towards the realization of an ideal world of peace, happiness, and love. Thank you.
Yeah, you're unmute
Unmute,
yourself.
please.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Remy, for your wonderful reading. It's truly amazing how much we learn about God and true love through observing God's beautiful creation. So now I have the pleasure of inviting a very special lady, our Dr. Ann Higgins. She has a lot of titles and she wears a lot of hats, but more than anything, she is truly a daughter of God, and she was a bright light at the recent World Summit. She made a lot of friends, she learned a lot of things, and I was so excited to hear all of her experiences. And we are so lucky to have her with us this morning. And I'd like to invite, putting aside all your titles, Dr. Higgins, I just want to welcome you as a daughter of God and a sister to share your heart and experiences with us. Welcome.
Well, oh, it's so good to be here, Gail. And I love you so much because you're always in tune with God and you're always right on, even our conversations, everything we talk about. Because this morning, the scripture from the book of John was talking about we are the light of the world. And you talked about that light, and we talked about being the salt of the earth. And so, when you end with that, I'm going to begin with that to remind each and every one that you are the light of the world. People that are in darkness, people that are causing wars and rumors of wars and killing babies and molestation of young children and mutilation, all these people that are doing evil things, they are in darkness. And we who are the light of the world ought to bring hope to them. The peace of God that is inside of us and who surpasses all understanding and guides our heart and our mind. We ought to bring that peace to them. We ought to bring that light to them. And that is why we exist. And I'm so excited to have a family like you guys. I tell you that I never knew before, because I've gained much more relationship even on my trip to Korea. And I thank you, Dr. Yang and Eliezer, for so graciously allowing me that opportunity, because from the moment I reached Seoul, Korea, my goodness, I got in like 4 or 5 in the morning, but there was no fear as to, okay, where am I? Who's here? The minute I didn't see anyone, I called Gail, and it was just like she was right next to me. She called Eliezer, and there I was being taken away to the hotel, and at the front door, there they were greeting me with such love. And that's the key. The love of God, the light of God that shines within us emanates and causes us to be drawn one to another. And then the world is even drawn to us because they're seeing something that they've never seen before. They're feeling a love that they've never felt before. And so as I got there to that hotel and begin to get comfortable and relaxed, there was the young youth that was so anxiously awaiting to assist in every which way that I can imagine. I wanted to get my shot COVID test and everything. They whisked me away again, getting that done. And when we came together in our sessions, first our meal together and getting to know each other, and everyone, I just felt the love of God, I mean, all around. And I think the highlight, basically, as I got there, I was like, oh goodness, now God, what do I do? How do I leave an impact? How do I fulfill the assignment that you've given me to? And then he said to me, I want you to dance before you speak. I was like, what? How is that going to happen? But out of obedience, I knew that there was a way to release that light of God, the love of God, even through the movement. The word says, in him we live and move and have our being. So in him we moved, and I was able to release that. But the highlight of my trip, I tell you, I'm skipping past everything, because the highlight was the 10th anniversary of Dr. Moon, the celebration, the thousands of people in that auditorium that came together, and the worship and the praise that went forth. You could feel the love of God and the presence of God in that place. And can you imagine, out of thousands of people, Elias, I think it was, ran to me and said, come. And I was like, where am I going? I keep running up the stairs and running. And there they were in the lobby wanting to interview me. And I was like, okay, God, you're going to have to put the words in my mouth now, because I don't. And as he asked question, I was so excited. I was able to express what I was feeling and what I was going through. And then when they asked me also about how I felt, like, says, if you look around and see the thousands of people in this auditorium, the stadium, you can tell the impact that Father Moon had on all of these people, all this gathering and all these people coming to celebrate. And this is what I really want to say. If we know that we are chosen by God to do his work in the earth, listen, you have to fulfill your assignment. All of us has an assignment in the earth. Fulfill that. And even after you've gone from this world, you will still live, because you will live in the hearts of others that you have deposited that love in, and it'll be as if you've never died. And my pastor, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, said the grave is wealthy because the grave robs you of all the wealth that is in you. So if you do nothing, and all the treasure and the gifts in you, you do nothing with it, when you go to the grave is rich. But if you release it, you'll be just like I've seen in that stadium, thousands and thousands and thousands of young people and all those that were there, including my age, that have been impacted by a man that lived in the earth and shared the love of God, and bringing unity and bringing people together for one purpose and one cause. And so that was really the highlight, the dances and seeing the production, the music and all that took place in that state. That was the highlight. And of course, Dr. Yang had to top it off and taking us to a traditional meal where the table was like a banquet spread before us. You don't know what to eat, what to pick up, you don't know what to choose. And so the hospitality and the love of everyone that and the fellowship and the meeting of so many came to me, and the expression of how the dance, what it did to them, and how it enlightened them, and how they were so blessed, and that drew the fellowship and connection one with another. And that was the most exciting part about it. But I want to say to all of you I want to encourage you to continue this walk with God, and continue to let your light shine, because there are many that don't know the pathway to God. There's many that are distressed. They're burdensome. They are confused. They're losing their mind. They're losing touch to society. We heard about the message that we just got, but the egg has a yolk. But every negativity comes from that which is not positive. And because we connect ourselves to sometimes the wrong people, we speak the wrong things, we engage in negativity, we have nothing positive, because there's negative and there's positive, and you heard the message. But if we continue to be positive and have the word of God in our heart and share that love with one another, we will not be consumed by the negativity of the world, but the light God that's in us, Christ, the hope of glory will be exuberated throughout the world, and we will find ourselves in a place where we will be chosen by God to fulfill our assignment in the earth, and then we will see the fruit of it. And so I am so excited. I read, as a matter of fact, Gail sent me the book of Dr. Hakshaw, and I was reading the life of this woman. I tell you, it is incredible. And it reminds me that my assignment in the earth should be fulfilled even to a greater extent, because if others can do it, we can do it. And like I said, all of us have an assignment in the earth. We are the light, and we are to draw men unto God and Christ, so that we know that through our work and our assignment, we will have a great harvest. And so I realized it encouraged me to continue the work that I am called to do. I want you to be encouraged to continue the work that He's called you to do, praying one for another. As you are on this line this morning, 400 and something days of prayer line, and we who are on prayer line Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was sharing with our group on Facebook how we have to continue to pray. We cannot be alone. We have to continue to pray until God's will be done on earth as it is in the heavens. His kingdom will come on earth as it is in the heavens. And we have to pray that manifestation. And so I thank you for such a great opportunity. I thank you for changing my life through an experience that I've never had before, and I will never forget, because I reminisce every day. And next time I'm there, I'm not going to be there a few days. I'm going to be there at least 2 weeks. I'm going to be like Dr. Yang. I'll return when it's time to pray again, and so that I can experience the people and much more. My experience at Dr. Hakshaw home, the castle, was another great experience. And so thank you again, and may God continue to bless you. May God continue to strengthen you, that you will continue to do the work that you've been called to do. Don't give up. Keep going. The scripture says, the race is not to the swiftest, but to those who endure to the end. And as you see, as we experience that big celebration, just think about it. Think about you being celebrated, because why? You endured to the end and you didn't give up. Many gave up now, and many did not finish the race. But I'm encouraging you, keep moving, keep going, and keep the light shining. God bless you all. Thank you for this great opportunity.
Dr. Higgins, you are really
I
good
do.
therapy.
Thank you.
You are such good therapy for all of our hearts and all of our minds. You're better than a cup of coffee. You wake us up and you remind us what's important. And let's go together next year to Korea. We'll all go together. And we're so happy to meet your group. We hope that we can continue together to raise up this wonderful spirit in Central America and the entire Caribbean region. Thank you, Dr. Higgins. Thank you, Maria Luisa, for your wonderful prayer, and for Remy for the wonderful reading. We're so happy to have Dr. Yang with us this morning. Thank God for bringing him back safely. Everybody's no more COVID. Everybody's healthy. And thank you so much, everyone. God bless you all. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to do a prayer. I'm very sorry. I forgot. A unison prayer. Let's begin unison prayer. say thank you once again. Thank you all of those who joined us for the first time. We welcome you and we hope to see you again every morning at 7 o'clock, same time, same place.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Higgins. Very good testimony.
Bye. See you again, everybody. See you tomorrow morning. Hi, Reverend Phillips.
Everyone, wonderful
Yes, hermanos y hermanas. Gracias. Esa palabra. Buenos días, doctor Jan.
Hi, Dr. Young.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Gail.
Good morning,
Nice
everyone.
to have you back.
Yeah, I missed Undoke. I'm very happy to be back. Thank you. Muchas gracias, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Same to you.
Buenos días a todos.
I will
Bendiciones.
share tomorrow morning.
Hermoso día.
Feliz día.
Okay. Yeah.
Dios te bendiga. Todo tuyo, bendiciones.
Bendiciones, feliz día a
Thank
todos.
you.
Adiós.
Gracias.
Yes.
Hola, Andrés. Hola.
Panamá.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gracias, gracias.